Is this going to put me to a really weird place now? I think it might. No, it doesn't. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another video. Welcome back to Tomb Raider. The goal for today is we're going to be trying to get completely out of the shantytown with 100%, which means before I progress to the next area along that rope that was laid down at the end of the last episode, I need to grab some GPS caches and stuff down here. The goal for today is to finish all of the shantytown and try and reach Sam. How do I jump over that? I did it earlier. I was playing this, I don't know, for about an hour or two before I recorded today, just so I could be a lot more sure of what's going on. Because I've mentioned in a lot of these episodes recently, I think that it's been a while since I completed the game, and I don't know, I feel a bit off when can I just jump over from there, or should I just shoot this through? I should just shoot this, shouldn't I? I feel a bit off if I'm not, like, totally on my game or don't know 100% of what's coming up. So, yeah, that's kind of been my plan here. We've got a GPS cache down on this island here. But what I'm going to try and do this episode is finish the shantytown. I'm pretty sure we'll meet this girl, and we're going to try and save Sam. At the end of the last episode, we saw Grim, if you remember, so we're trying to meet him right now, somewhere.
This inroad was probably used by a military commander to carry official orders and seals.
Yes, okay, so more inroad. Of course, this is the collectible here in the shantytown. We can grab this one. But it is still my plan to go to all of the tombs, essentially, here, and then go back and find the collectibles, and then I can just sort of cut from collectible to collectible to collectible. But if we do that, the next tomb in this area is a fair distance away, and it would be kind of annoying for me to then have to come all the way back. This is another one of those rare areas where you can find boar, as you can see this guy here, who will probably survive the shotgun hit. These boars are just so tanky. And then some chickens as well that you can hunt if you want, if you haven't got that achievement maybe. I've just now realised that they only give you 17 salvage, so there's not too much point in killing them. I guess you get a bit of experience though. Also, for today's episode, we should finally have that final survival tier trait. Which will be very cool to finally have access to since I've been talking about it so much. And I think we will have only got it a tiny bit later than where I got it on my original run-through of the game, which is great because, of course, we've still got plenty of areas left to go to before we're finished with the whole thing, which is, yeah, very helpful. So on that topic, I've got kind of a cool idea for what I think I want to do with the rest of this LP. Wait, where did you see me from? Oh, all the way over there. That's fine. They can't hit me just yet. I got kind of what I consider to be a cool idea for what I want to do with the rest of the LP here. Today is Tuesday the somethingth of June, early in June anyway. I'm hoping to film the next 2 episodes or so here right now, and then what I can do is tomorrow I'm going to try and do what I did at the end of Grimrock, if you guys remember, where I just kind of sit down and have a nice long marathon and just kind of, we play through pretty much, I'm hoping till the end of the game. That's quite a lofty idea though, I've got to be honest, because the game is pretty damn long and we're not that far through. Please be okay there. And we're not that far through just yet, so, but that should be quite fun. I always kind of, I've been watching a lot of LPs this week. I've been doing a lot of procrastinating this week, basically. And whenever I procrastinate from making videos, which it really is one of the only things I should be doing at the moment, I always end up, I don't know, I end up in a bit of a rut where I'm, like, really depressed because I haven't been recording anything. And yet, I'm like, I don't know, I don't think I'm a particularly lazy person, but if I haven't done anything for a few days, I get really put off of doing other stuff. Like, again, I come to you recording this, don't kill me with one volley. I come to you recording this, like, putting off a Guild Wars 2 video again. And the thing is, on the last Guild Wars 2 Mysteries, I said, hey, in a couple of days, we'll do the origins of another race. And now it's been a week, right? And really, the best way to solve this problem is just to do it as soon as possible. But now I'm, like, in this rut where I feel like, oh, it's been a week already, for God's sake, I've already messed that up. And now, I don't know, it just puts me off doing it. I guess because I feel like I have to record the episode now to keep people happy rather than just because I'm very excited about the story I'm telling, if that makes sense. So I don't know, maybe that's a little bit of an insight into the way I work. And it's stupid. I either go kind of full on with something. Did you just hit the windmill when trying to throw something at me? That's quite funny. I either go full on or just, I don't know. Anyway, and I've been like that for about a year now. I used to just be like so easy to just be moderate with stuff. But something, I don't know, nothing's changed with me. Nothing big's happened in my life. You are still alive. There you are. I just walked into a bear trap here. This isn't good at all. Die! Why is the shotgun so bad? Why is the shotgun so bad in this game? Is it just because I haven't upgraded it, maybe? Jesus, wept. Yeah, there's a lot of enemies there. That was probably a bad move, me running in blazing like that. But we might be okay. Oh, that was a sweet headshot. There's not too many enemies left to fight in the shantytown. I talked a lot in the last episode about kind of the progression of the area, how you can see all of these areas that slowly you're going to be winding your way through. This is the second half of the whole zone. And there's tons of collectibles like jotted about all over the place. If you remember when we last saw Grim, he was kind of like, oh hey, you should get on one of these like skylift things, these things here. I have no idea what purpose they're serving, because for any, like, if the Solari are using these to transport materials around, I can suspend my disbelief and be like, okay, we don't get to see them unloading all of them, whatever. But why, you know, are they really so sophisticated to have crazy contraptions and machinery like this running, while the place is obviously absolute squalor, right? Come on, die. I'm doing so little damage, guys. I'm doing so little damage. I'm surprised I'm still alive here. Let's just try and pistol him out. Take off the silencer. There we go. Oh my god, no, don't reload. Thank you. Right, so he's dead. That should be all of the Solari dealt with. Hopefully. One more still, really? I'm still in a battle stance. Well, if he shoots me, he shoots me. So yeah, basically, to get to Grim, all we got to do is jump on top of one of these things, which is quite exciting to me. I quite like the idea. I remembered looking at, on my first playthrough, looking from like all the way down there and being like, oh yeah, look, these look awesome. Obviously, I'm going to go across that. We're going to delay that though for now, because if I have a look, you've got all of these collectibles around here, which I do want to collect, obviously. But before we do that, just so that we know where all of the GPS caches and stuff are, we're going to complete the second tomb of the area. If you remember, we did the previous tomb was in the last zone, and there was just like a tirade of enemies charging at us to try and stop us getting in there. The second tomb is here. If you decide to forego jumping on one of those lifts, you can actually come to this little area here. It's got really warm lighting. I very much like this area, and it's got this crazy like weird cage thing here, which is a really cool design. The idea is you've got these little holes around this meshing that block all arrows, but you can shoot through them, and at certain angles they'll actually allow you to get all of this salvage here. You can get like 150 salvage coming from these nets, but you've just got to know which holes to shoot through and from what angles, and it just drops all the crates down, which is worthwhile. I don't know, it's a fun little distraction, I guess. I feel like maybe if this game had like different types of collectibles or stuff that could come out of cages like this, it would feel a lot more rewarding, but it is pretty cool anyway. So we can grab this one. And I never seem to use the same holes to get the same things every time. And you can't shoot up from underneath, because that's actually an example of the game's physics working. Like, they actually weigh down that metal, like, grating, and yeah, if that makes any sense. How do I get to that other hole? I guess it's around up on the other side, which would be this way, sort of. No, this looks completely wrong. Hold on, let's go the other way. So yeah, that's my plan. I'm going to be playing a lot of Tomb Raider. I kind of went through this area. I just feel like I needed to get my excitement about Tomb Raider up a bit, because I don't know, like, it's easy to fall out of touch with what all of the plot's doing, where I've just sort of been so bad with this LP. This is going to go down in the records as a bad LP. Well, no, not like, I don't know, the videos themselves aren't bad, but it has been such long gaps between videos, and every episode I've come on, I've been like, hey guys, we're going to be regular with it. I even had somebody leave a comment recently who was like, hey, are you going to do any Tomb Raider? And don't just reply with, yes, and they're going to be more regular, because they're not been more regular in a long time. How do I shoot through that hole? And to you, sir, I gave you a sarcastic reply, but I think you're probably right. You probably are. How do I get through that? This is such a puzzle to me, and it shouldn't even be that much of a puzzle to me, because, like, that hole is so high up, there's no angle you could ever feasibly aim in to get any nets from, right? Well, I can get that one from here. There we go. And then this last one? I think that last one you have to shoot up at it from underneath somehow. I can't get on top of it, because my thought would be that you could get on top of those beams, but it doesn't look like you can unless I can climb on that rock. No. Because, oh, whatever, we're going to leave the last one. We're going to grab these, and then we're going to enter the tomb, because there is, I wouldn't so much say hidden, but there is a tomb entrance in this area. I guess I like this place mostly because it just feels like one of those little side areas that you don't really have to come to, but it's got some substance there. This weird thing on the map as well, I think this is like one of the big crane arms, or one of the, like, you can't actually walk on that structure. Wow, my map's being very weird. You can't walk on that structure, but it's very confusing for when you're looking at where you want to go in the shantytown. The tomb entrance isn't quite in that cave. It's around down on the floor here. I'm winging this. It's somewhere. Oh no, yeah, it's over here. Okay, cool. So we can climb in. There's also some relics which I can grab. There's another windmill here. This is a fast travel camp as well, which is nice because we're in a reasonably remote area, given the context of the whole game map, I suppose. I shouldn't really waste arrows on that, should I? I've still got a torch after all. So yeah, you're not really going to come back to this place too often. So I would try and grab everything while you can, while you're here. This is also on my first playthrough, the one area that I came back to right towards the end where I really needed just a tiny bit of extra salvage. Like, you know how you get to a point of no return in most games? I got to that point and I was like, well, where can I go to kill some enemies just so that I can finish off my final upgrade? And it was this location. This is where I came to. So, I don't know. It sticks out in my mind a little bit more. You've seen me breaking some... There it is. Oh, it's just a GPS cache? Okay, whatever. You've seen me breaking some things in the area here. I'm pressing F because I'm used to other games again. Those are the alarm sounds that I think I mentioned right at the end of the last episode. That's the other challenge in this area, to break a few of those. The game is way more forgiving with the effigies that you've got to burn down than it is with the like sirens that you need to dismantle. But the sirens themselves are still rather easy. There's another one of those weird looking bushes that always seem to be in perfect locations for like DLC tombs and stuff. All over the place. It feels like they're just going to be extra DLC tombs. But the game's well, it's not an old game, but the game's been out for a while now, and these are the prime months to be selling DLC on games. And I don't actually know how many tombs they've added recently. I certainly haven't seen any news since I last talked to you guys about it, which was a while ago. Anyway, here's the tomb. Enough procrastinating. We can actually enter it. Something weird happens with the lighting. There's a GPS cache here too, just on the entrance of the tomb, so be sure to run around and pick that up. That one eluded me for a while. There's also this weird side passage, which it looks like you should be able to crawl in. Look at those textures. That is so bad. That is really low res in there. That's pretty crazy. But I think is that the way we come back out? It might be, because this is one of those tombs where it's got one entrance and the way and sort of, well, you're about to see. So do you see how the light suddenly just culls itself in as you light the torch? I think that's slightly badly done. The torch is a nice idea, but I think for it to feel like it's a worthwhile source and a worthwhile thing to have out, even though it automatically gets taken out, for it to feel necessary, it kind of has to be dark and for a significant amount of time before the torch comes up. Otherwise, it's like, oh, they've only done it for ambience and they've not done it for any practical purpose, you know? Like, it feels artificial the way that they draw the lighting in there. That's just something that comes to my mind. Hopefully I'm articulating that thought well enough. But yeah, so we slid down that thing, and we can't actually climb back up across that way anymore. So this is why we're going to have a separate way back for when we want to leave the tomb. And I might have accidentally turned... No, I haven't. So now we're going to go across this beam. And this is the way forward. This whole way I've been forced to walk. This is, again... I was reading a thread on Reddit recently where people were like... Oh, Spyro 1, that had... Oh, it might have been Spyro 2. They were like, oh, that had such good loading screens. They were so seamless. And what that game used to do, they were fun games. I'm sort of a PlayStation 1 kid, I guess, to put me in some generation for games.
The Solari have completely taken over the old places of this island.
Yes, so they once again have defiled one of the tombs, while at the same time they seem to be worshipping the sun god, and we still don't understand why. But yeah, like so I liked Spyro, and these people were going on about the loading screens, saying, "Oh, these are such good loading screens. Why don't games do this anymore?" And basically, what that game used to do for loading screens was you'd walk into a portal, and there would be no like black screen. There would be no hard cut to a loading screen. Spyro would just do this big backflip and then start flying in what seemed like open skies. And as he was flying in open skies, he was loading, and the screen would throw up some stats on screen and be like, hey, look, this is some stuff that's going on. And that was kind of the way that it did loading screens, and it was fun. But all these people were like, oh, they never do good loading screens like that in games anymore. But, you know, Tomb Raider in particular has been a series that has always done kind of these hidden loading screen corridors and stuff for a long time. And this iteration of Tomb Raider is no exception. They've continued to do that. So I don't know. I felt for a little while when I read that, I was like desperate to try and defend Tomb Raider, but I never left a comment anyway, because I so rarely do. Anyway, this is another tomb. The answer to this puzzle, if you can call it that, more like just a showcase of the game's physics capabilities, is you just need to break down some of these platforms to get these cans, which you can then use to weigh down this seesaw. It's so Half-Life-y. This one just makes me think so much of one of the early puzzles in Half-Life 2. But yeah, once you've got 3 cans, you should be enough. There is a 4th one up there. I'm not sure why it's there or how even really necessarily to get it. Once you've got 3 though, you should be perfectly fine, as long as you just sort of make sure this is a running jump and you don't stand there and get weighed down for too long. Hit A and you can use your climbing pick to, of course, latch onto the wall. So that's very good. And then you might be tempted to drop down on that to break it and then get your last can for some reason. I don't know why you'd want to, though. You can do this. It's a bit of a clunky jump onto that ladder, but there you go. That's another tomb done.
All of these places are built on ancient ruins.
And yes, more ancient ruins. I feel like the pace of the game's a little bit off at the moment. Like, I feel like everything we're seeing at the moment, we've kind of, it's just another way of saying something they've already said. I always end up looking at Lara's scratches and stuff on her body when that's going on, because, I don't know, they're quite well detailed. They look quite painful. But yes, so we got another handgun part. I think on my previous playthrough when I was testing this, I got another part for my rifle and upgraded the rifle. Which kind of sucks that I didn't get that this time, but whatever. We've got another upgrade for the pistol. And here, this is how we get back out. We slide through that little tube thing, which reminds me of an old Guild Wars 1 reference here. There's an area just before you get to Tanakai Temple where you walk through this really big, ugly, black pipe thing that's like a sewer pipe. I don't know why, but that thing jumping through there, just that cylinder, makes me think of the exact same thing. Of course, we're coming back the same way here. But I think we could have just dropped off that beam and we would have been fine. I'm not sure why I'm coming around here. Isn't this just going to lead me to a dead end? Oh, no, that's where we climbed up. Yeah, so we're going to come through here and back into the passageway. Again, another really long kind of... See, I get what they're trying to do here. This is a loading screen, but they've actually added a little bit of platforming in too. And I guess, you know, as hard drives get better, as SSDs become the standard, and as SSDs become more reliable, we are going to reach a really cool point with games where essentially loading screens aren't a thing anymore. How cool of an idea is that, really? Like, loading screens are not a thing. Just the entire game can be constantly running out of your random access memory. Like, your random access memory doubles up as your hard drive. Like, that will eventually happen, and that's going to be so cool. Think about, like, Guild Wars 2. I know I've probably got some people watching these videos that don't watch Guild Wars stuff, but in Guild Wars, right, there's these gates, yeah, which transport you from one end of the world to the other. Think about how cool it will be when games reach a point where, as you're standing there in Lion's Arch, that literally is a real... Like, you look in through the Asura Gate in Lion's Arch and you can see the real-time Ratasum fully rendered with other players standing about in there and everything. How cool is that going to be? That's going to be insane. And there's no loading screen. You just walk through it. You just walk through it and you're transported. That's going to be so cool. There's some weird, like, puzzle games that have come out recently that alter with your perspective. I can't remember what it's called. The Yogscast did one recently, though, where it was... It's like this weird puzzle game, a puzzle game that doesn't do traditional kind of puzzles. Like, all of the puzzles and problems that it gives you aren't standard fare, and it's supposed to be really weird for your brain. But that does a lot of stuff like that, like where it changes your perspective. You'll be looking in one direction at one point, and you're looking up, and then suddenly you're looking in horizontal, and you have no idea it's changed, kind of thing. Anyway, we've got a document.
The Solari, my warriors of the sun. They have grown strong in number. And I have discovered everything I require to move my plans forward. It is time for us to move inland. We will build our city high up in the mountains around the old palace. From there we can protect ourselves from the Oni Guardians, and I can access all points on the island swiftly. I must be prepared to capture anyone who comes to this place. I now know what I seek. The key to escaping this place. And perhaps, much, much more. It may take years, but I will find her.
So this was from the 21st of January, 1997, okay? This is actually 4 years after another note we could have got earlier in the shantytown that I didn't get early because we wanted to do the tomb first. So bear that in mind. Lara's little quip is, Matthias drove his Solari to build all of this in the name of a long-dead Japanese queen. Incredible. She seems to be... I don't know. It seems quite obvious to me, a lot of the stuff that's going on at the moment with this game. Maybe because I've already played it now. And my perception of it is just that obscured. And that's kind of a scary thought. I don't like the fact that, you know, I could have been so much more knowledgeable before. But anyway, she seems, I don't know, just to be missing the point. And she just seems like a lot more stupid than really she should be. Because the player can guess ahead what's going to happen so much quicker. But again, that just could be because I've already played the game. Anyway, we're going to toggle all these waypoints. My plan here now is what I want to do for the rest of the LP is I think I'm going to kind of just progress to the end of areas. Grab the tombs, and then once we finish the areas at like a regular pace, then I'm going to go back and get all of the collectibles, and I'm just going to literally cut from collectible to collectible to collectible, right? And that way we can kind of keep the pace up and still get everything, sort of thing. And you guys won't miss me traveling to new areas in the search for new stuff, right? So that should be pretty cool. So that's what I'm going to do. But here's the other document here. It's just hidden in this place. We're actually right back at the start at the moment. I've climbed down. But next to this, with the skull on the desk, we find another note.
My patience has been rewarded. At long last, I have my lieutenants, my enforcers of the way. The storms brought me exactly the men I need to begin building the Solari Brotherhood. Strong of body, weak of will. They were broken in the storms, weakened and vulnerable, and I raised them up again. Now they serve me, and through me, her, the Sun Queen. She is showing me the way. She has always shown me the way. I cannot deny what I have seen, and soon, neither will they. She is everywhere on this island. But the Solari Brotherhood must grow. We will recruit as many as we can. I will draft laws, create a code for them to live by, and they will build for the Sun Queen, while I search for the key.
Okay, so it wasn't 4 years, it was 3 years. For some reason, I thought this was in 1992. I'm not sure. But, okay, so this one was on the 24th of October, 1994. So it took him 2 years to start, actually finding people to belong to his brotherhood. What I find interesting here is there was kind of the hint, perhaps, before that he was telling the rest of the Solari that he could communicate with the Sun Queen, but there was sort of a dash of, oh, he's just doing this to manipulate them, yeah. But this is actually, if this is really a journal that he's written for his own eyes and of his own true thoughts, and if we can consider this to be real, then he does himself believe he can communicate with the Queen, and she's shown her something. So, kind of interesting. We'll see how much merit what he's got to say here really does mean anything. Obviously, Lara herself is a bit of a skeptic, and I think it's wise for us to be skeptical too at the moment. We've seen no evidence really, except maybe just some bizarre weather. A coincidence, perhaps, can still explain the lightning hitting the pilot. Anyway, Matthias has fashioned himself a cult of true believers. What better way to justify moral bankruptcy and violence? I love that term, moral bankruptcy. I feel like we already mentioned that on this LP as well. Did we? In any case, right, so yeah. That's our 6th of 7 Diaries of a Madman found as well. Right, okay, so let's try a hand at movie magic editing source stuff. I'm just going to start cutting. We've got this document here. I know this GPS cache. Let's go. Oh, don't do this to me. It's behind a gate. It's like right next to us, but it's behind a gate. Brilliant. Okay, so there's another one here, so I'm just going to grab this. I hadn't even waypointed that, but there's one right near where we started the episode. Basically, because all the stuff is ages away from us now, I've got to climb all the way back through the level. So instead of going for that GPS cache, actually, it might be wise to just grab stuff that appears en route. So that GPS cache there, for example. Also, we have a siren here. Did I disband this while I was talking about other stuff? I did. There was a siren here as well at the start of the episode, which I guess I didn't mention in the commentary, but I did break. So there you go. Here we go, number 3, just another GPS cache, but a GPS cache nonetheless. And I've just remembered something. There was a GPS cache we missed way back over here at the start. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to the fast travel camp at the end of the area, then we're going to fast travel to the start of the area, grab the GPS cache, and then continue on. Does that sound good? Yeah, sounds good. But for now, we'll get this GPS cache here. Okay, no, ignore that. Just by using survival instincts, I've seen that there's something hidden around here, so we're going to grab this instead. It's an iterative process, people. It's an iterative process.
This gold lacquered inro contains writing implements and dried ink. Likely the possession of a court scribe or historian.
Very cool. Very cool. This is the 4th inro. And actually, do you remember last episode? I was like, I bet I'll never remember what an inro is. Actually, oh no, it wasn't inro I was talking about, was it? Was it campo? Campo were like the old herb things. See, I remember that. And inro were basically what people used as old wallets. Or things that would just hold stuff. Anyway, we've still got this GPS cache to go for. It's all the way down there. Oh no, that's the original one. We'll get that in a second, see? I love this crazy golf kind of windmill here as well. That's all I can think of when I jump through that. Crazy golf. Okay, here we go. We've made it to the other side of the cage by basically going right to the end of the area and coming back. So we've got that. I see another one just here. Here we go. There's another GPS cache here, just near the last document that we found. And now we've just got 3 more to find here. We're going to go for the relic first. And these are all around the giant structure with all of the big machines and things that are carrying cargo around. Can I make it? Can I make it? Oh, I'm not going to make that. Right, so here's the relic.
It's a ceremonial drinking vessel from the Song Dynasty. Beautiful craftsmanship.
Yeah, what I find really weird is this is a drinking vessel? A drinking vessel. Where does the... Oh, I guess up... Oh, up there, that tiny little dent there, and you've got this entire horse worth of stuff. The funny thing is, I think there's a lot of weird cups and stuff you can buy on like eBay and things in the real world that are shaped really weirdly like this. Like those cereal bowls that come with straws attached to them. They seem cool, but they're such a pain to clean, so I can kind of understand why there's that. One little thing that I did notice earlier that I thought was kind of cool, right on his belly, he's got just like a hint of a carving there. And doesn't that look a little bit like the Sun Queen? Just a bit. Underneath. That's pretty cool if you ask me. So anyway, yeah, that's the last of those as well now. So we've got all of the jade stuff, we've got all of the in-row, and now we've just got a couple of GPS caches to find, one of which right near the start, as I say, but we will progress to get that just after I've got these next two. So one is quite high up. We're going to ignore the high up one. First we're going to get this one that's quite far away and low down, which is over there. I almost didn't need to cut to do this one, but I'm going to do it anyway because I stopped talking. Right, there we go. E to pick up. Come on, Lara. Stop forgetting this E. Right. Because it's Lara that's forgetting and not me. Now, let's assume that we weren't going for 100% and we were just playing through super quick like many other people will have done. What we would have done when we got up here is just jump straight on top of the crazy machine thing. There is one last thing hidden in the fact that you can climb quite high up here. So to jump on top, first you're just going to want to climb on top of one of these. Here's the last siren we need for the challenge, by the way. And then from here we can just jump on top of one of these lifts as it comes. But you can keep climbing up. That gave us another skill point, which I'll talk about in a second, because I can put both of those to good use. Because we should now have two. And look, there's still an effigy here. Like, effigies are spread all over the place. They're very easy to get. As I say, the game's quite forgiving. The last GPS cache, I think I'm pretty much still on it, aren't I? Or is it even higher than this? I know you can climb quite high. No, there it is. It's right here. Excellent. So now we've got all of the GPS caches. I guess you can't climb on top of that, no, so we are at the top here. And we're going to stop and go to the fast travel camp to fast travel to the start of the area. Lara, don't die. Good job. To go to the start of the area, and then we will progress. And no, the episode isn't going to end there either, because, you know, I'm doing these infrequently enough that I feel like I should at least do long episodes. No, 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 no! Wow, I'm pretty sure I saved myself with that trait there by rolling. Okay, fast travel camp? Yes, thank you. Awesome. Okay, oh no, we did get the assault rifle upgrade. Ha, okay, cool. So now we can modify the assault rifle, and basically it's just better. It's essentially a new weapon. It's quite cool. We've also got over 2,000 salvage. I've really been neglecting this stuff, haven't I? So let's have a look. First of all, skill points. We're going to come into this area here. Oh no, there's nothing we can buy here. So we're going to come over into the brawler upgrades and get some cool stuff for ourselves. This one, no, hold on. This one allows us to stun people when we're using melee attacks, which is very nice. And then there is this one here, which gives us more health, which I think is sorely needed. Especially, well, I don't know, I died a couple of times last episode. A couple of times. I had a lot of comments though of people saying, oh, you died so much. I was like, what? Come on, it wasn't that bad. Anyway, so we've got that, and now we've actually finally unlocked the final tier over here, cartography, which is what I've been going on about the whole time, and this actually finishes off the survivor tree for us. So with this, all tomb entrances and map locations will be revealed. We're going to examine our map closely to learn locations of treasure maps and tomb entrances. What this means is we will easily be able to find every collectible in the game, because we can easily find the things that highlight everything else for us, which is awesome. So we've got that, and, you know, that's kind of useless, I guess, if you're the kind of person that loves going on game FAQs or whatever, but that's kind of the way I legitimately did it on my first playthrough. I wanted to show that here. Right, salvage. Let's upgrade some stuff. Let's upgrade the machine gun, because we literally just got a new tier for it, so why not? We're going to get more capacity. We're going to get a high capacity mag. We are going to get a barrel shroud, which improves gun handling for increased damage. How realistic is all this stuff? Like, do any gun nuts watch my channel? Not that you identify yourself as a gun nut, but does anybody who knows anything about guns know whether this stuff works? We've now got a padded stock, which is rifle butt and gripping padding, which helps steady the weapon while firing, so that's more accuracy, I guess. And now we've got everything again already. That's fine. We've still got 1,500. Let's upgrade pistol. No, we've already got all the pistol stuff. Shotgun. Wow, we don't have anything for shotgun. I guess that's why the shotgun's doing so badly. We've now got a full choke, which adds an alternative firing mode, which concentrates the cone of pellets and gives them longer range. So we can now shoot from longer range with that, if I'm smart enough to swap through it. But let's face it, I'm probably not going to be smart enough to swap through it. Let's get another barrel shroud for a higher firing rate. We're going to get a polished bolt, which is a faster cycle rate between shots, which improves firing rate. And a padded grip. Excellent. Okay, so now we've only got 200 left. We'll leave it there. But wow, we've just really souped up some of our weapons here, haven't we? Are we fully up? We've pretty much got everything for every weapon now, except for one more thing on the rifle, which is a muzzle brake, which we're only 100 salvage away from being able to grab. That's very cool, actually. Okay, so we've got all of this stuff. Oh, and I wanted to fast travel to the start, so I'll just cut that out until we get the GPS cache, guys. Here we go, right here, nestled behind this thing. Final GPS cache. So there we go, that's Shantytown. The GPS cache is found. Basically, all the sets of everything completely done. Doesn't that feel good? But we've still got a little bit of Shantytown left to play. The fact we've already got the collectibles before we go to the last area in Shantytown should probably tell you guys something. Do you remember we had... So this is the first area. The second area is over there with all of the machinery. And do you remember I talked about these bridges? Well, that's where we're going to progress to next. And I'm going to leave it in this video, as I say. So I keep picking up like a cup that's next to me on my desk, thinking, oh yes, I desperately want some water, and then I realise it's only got Coke in it, and I don't want to have any Coke. Oh, can we get this one in time? Can we get this one in time, please? I mean, it moves pretty slow, but here we go. So we get to jump on and we move. You know, I find it funny with stuff like this. Whenever a moment like this happens in a game, I always sort of brace myself, because there's a lot of games out there that just don't function well at all, putting like the playable character as an entity on top of something else that's moving.
It's a trap! Show him your teeth, Clara! Give him hell!
Oh dear. Okay, Grim, we'll save you. I'm going to shoot out the barrels. Do avoid the temptation to shoot out all of those barrels early, because you're going to have a long firefight over there soon. And it's best if you've just got a lot of stuff that you can still use. So try and shoot these guys off. I actually don't know what happens if you stay on this thing that I'm on. Did they turn it off? Oh, they did. Okay, so it won't take you further along. Okay, so we can come over here and shoot these guys out. As I say, just try and save the barrels at least for now. There's only 2 ranged guys at the moment that are trying to shoot you, and you shouldn't have too much problem just shooting them out. But yeah, as I was saying, so many games like struggle so badly putting one moving thing on top of another. But you know, it does it well on this game at least, I guess. I'm not sure why it's such a problem for so many game engines. Right, and where I'm currently stood, I feel like is the best place to fight in this whole area, because you've got kind of this chunky pillar here, which allows you to basically have a lot of time waiting for these melee guys to come towards you, and plenty of room to avoid ranged fire from the others. As you can see, Lara's pretty strong in melee as long as you just get your keybinds right. And then once they're on cooldown, essentially, before anyone new comes, you're going to have a bunch of time to shoot the ranged people. And you see how they're just hiding behind that thing there, not willing to come towards me? That's what makes it kind of easy. I don't know, maybe it's just luck that I've had this spot. But I remember on my first time playing through the game, I kind of struggled a little bit here at this section. And when I was playing it earlier, this pillar just served me really well. Oh my god, I'm going to sneeze. Oh my god, there's a bomb. No, I'm okay. I'm not going to sneeze. That happens to me so much recently. I never used to have problems like where I thought I was going to sneeze, but I didn't. There we go. Let's just kill him. We can use these now. Generally, I like to use explosive barrels and stuff to hurt people that have got the helmets, because they're just so annoying to headshot. Also, I don't know, last time I was playing here, I ran out of arrow ammo. Might have been because I was just shooting so much. There we go. He blew himself up. But you do have arrows over here, so bear that in mind, because I didn't. I can't get a shot. Wow, they blew themselves up. That was awesome. Another chance to get your achievement here to shoot people off of these rails, by the way. The enemies will make themselves known. Yeah, shotgun's much better now. Don't you dare kill me. Don't you dare. I said it was better, and then I didn't kill him very quickly. Right, okay, let's hide back over here. That bomb's not going to hurt me, I don't think. Oh, crap. I wanted to knock that out of that guy's hand, so he'd be fine. Well, no, he wouldn't be fine. He would have killed himself. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, this guy... I really do go for, like, the rapid... You know the film League of Extraordinary Gentlemen? I've watched it once in my life. Looking back on it, I don't know whether it's a very good film. It probably just appealed to me as a teenager. Hold on. Okay. Something serious is about to happen with Grim.
Drop your weapons, or we kill your friend! Don't fucking do it!
Okay! Okay!
That's nothing, pal. I grew up in Glasgow.
He's
Kick
dying
them
off.
off the edge.
Go, Grim! Oh, that was vital!
No. Grim. I'll make them pay. The palace. I've got to get to the palace.
Whenever, that being the palace, I guess, or one of the buildings leading towards the palace. The palace must be over there. That must be the city where everyone's being held captive. Whenever a game has something significant happen where somebody falls over an edge, I really feel like they should spend a lot of time detailing out the background for that thing. But here, that doesn't even look like a big drop. Look, you can, I mean, I can shoot that. That's not very far away. So yeah, I don't know. Considering that was where he fell off, right? That was where he's supposed to have fallen off from. There's nowhere else, like, anywhere near here. So, that's a bit crappy. That also kind of... Okay, I'm going to tell you now, for the rest of the game, Grim's dead. That's it. Casualty number 1 of the Endurance. He's gone. Okay, and everybody's going to treat him as though he's gone. I am very curious, though, whether he will come back. And I don't consider that a spoiler. But I consider very much that he might come back in a sequel. Maybe? I mean, and this might do some favours for that. The idea that he could have survived this fall. But yeah, so there you go. Oh, what I was in the middle of saying earlier, we're going to climb over there and continue. Also, it looked like in the cutscene there was one other person alive. Maybe Grim somehow killed him with his mind and then he didn't attack Lara when she stopped to mourn him. But yeah, like, the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, it's got a scene where... one of the characters is an American character, and I think Sean Connery's the other one. And he's like, "Oh, you Americans, you always shoot so, you always use so many shots. You just fire, 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 fire. We British, we make sure the one shot we shoot counts." And I don't know why, but I always remembered that scene. I'm not a patriotic person, but to any extent. But I always remember that scene. And now, whenever I'm playing a game or something, and I'm just going with like the pray and spray method, I always somewhere in the back of my mind think back to that and think, "Oh no, I shouldn't do this. I should be super accurate or something." It's so stupid.
I'm on it.
Oh dear. Okay, go Lara, go, go. The handling's quite weird here, but if you make sure you hold right and up, you should be fine. I don't know what it's like on the 360 controller. And as if we didn't see this coming. As soon as I saw that texture on the far side of the cliff, I was like, I know exactly what's about to happen. And that guy got shot.
Shit. I've got you covered, girl. You're clear to climb up.
Thank God.
Ross,
Yeah.
Grim's dead.
they tried to use him as leverage to make me surrender, but he wouldn't let them.
Grim, you stubborn bastard.
I'm so sorry, Ross.
No, don't be sorry, Lara. Just make it count.
Just make it count.
We'll raise a glass to the old man when we get out of here.
I'm going to try and get closer.
Can you cover me again?
Yeah. I've got a clear sight with my rifle until the palace wall.
Okay.
We're going to have a sequence in a minute. Well, one of the more interesting sequences in the game where we do have to cross that bridge with lots of enemies there. I wonder if the amount of enemies they show in that cutscene that you actually experience in game does match up. That would be a really cool touch if they do. But yeah, Roth. So Roth's here. That's very cool. He's kind of been in the background a bit.
N888RC responding to SOS, inbound from Greater Trinity.
Wow, hello.
This is Conrad Roth of the Endurance. Do you copy? Lara, did you hear that? A rescue helicopter is inbound.
That's great news, Roth. Set up a signal. I'm going in for Sam and the others.
But Lara, maybe I should...
This isn't like the pilot, Roth. I got Sam and the others into this mess. I'm getting them out.
Okay, sure. Right, so more people as well. There is hope in sight, which is very cool actually that they set this up here. One thing also I should point out with Roth, with 3 salvage away from having enough. That sucks. One thing I'd like to point out with Roth as well is don't forget there was this whole idea. It was Roth, Grim, and Lara's father. They used to be like this adventuring trio, and they did all this stuff. So, you know, that should hit Roth really hard that Grim's now dead. You know, really hard, and that's a real shame to him. So that should make that scene a little bit more powerful than perhaps the game makes it seem.
All right, Lara. That bridge is swarming with guards.
Great. Any ideas?
It'll be tricky, but you can probably make your way across underneath.
I was afraid you were going to say that.
Don't worry. I'll be covering you the whole way.
So yeah, we're gonna have this interesting sequence, and he's always been in the background, is just I guess what I'm trying to say. And now finally he comes and he saves us, and I think that's really cool. I also like these areas, as I kind of hinted at earlier. We've already got the collectibles for the shantytown, so why are we still in the shantytown? You know, and why isn't this classed as a new area? It's because you can kind of tell with this game, if there's no collectibles, it's probably an area you can't come back to. And obviously you can think of a few reasons why that might happen. I just love this little area here. It seems so homely and cozy, even though it's just trashy and horrible. It seems pretty cool. I mean, the fact that there's tons of explosives here probably isn't a good sign. And that would be funny if those blow up, but they didn't. Yeah, they just got loads of dynamite here. But yeah, so, wow, Lara, what the hell was that? Great animation quality, okay. So yeah, we're going to try and sneak across the bridge.
Here goes.
This is a fantastic moment. I was also playing this just now while watching NCS play Plants vs. Zombies, like the final boss.
Down there. Do you think they got the outsider?
Don't worry. If they didn't, then she'll come to us. Father Matthias will send us to the Oni if we don't find her. Only if we fail, and we won't. The Sun Queen is with us.
Oh dear.
The Sun Queen is with that fucking outsider. She's killed enough of us.
You might be right. Enough. Be silent. This talk is blasted.
Uh-oh.
Whoa, hey, what was that? Who's shooting? Get down!
I thought I lost you, girl. Are you okay?
That was too close.
Stop. Don't move. They'll see you. Wait.
I can't get a shot. We're sending dogs out.
Go now. Stop. Hold it. Almost got him. Move.
I like how the dialogue there suggests that there's
Stop.
only one target.
Wait.
And there's clearly 2.
Lara, I think you're clear.
Thanks for the cover. I think that makes us even.
Lara, look out!
I'll break this girl's neck! Surrender!
They went over. Is she dead?
I don't know, I can't see.
She might still be alive. Keep looking.
There she is!
Lara, there's too many of them. Get out of there!
Oh dear. Yay, so Falling Simulator 2013 begins once again. Everything is exploding. On hard mode, actually, these stray shots from the machine guns can actually hurt you quite a lot. I swear, I almost died. And it's not sort of all predetermined here. Like, when I got to this point, I'd taken a lot of fire. I was almost dead. Like, my screen was super grayed out and stuff. But I made it much cleaner this time.
I'm heading in.
Are you sure about this, Lara?
I'll get them. I'll come back. I promise.
That's one reason why we can't go back there, but just because everything starts to get destroyed. There'll be more reasons later, though. Now, finally, we're done with the shantytown. We have to split up from Roth once again. But, you know, this whole past while, ever since we kind of got off of that radio tower, it's all been to try and find our friends, namely Sam, who they're going to try and burn. And, you know, free our friends that got captured. And that all happened off screen. You know, I think interesting ideas for DLC on this game would include... like that, for example. Another one that I kind of think of is, I said earlier that Grim was the first casualty of the Endurance. He wasn't really, was he? Actually, lots of people died before we even really woke up or regrouped with anyone. It'd be interesting to see those stories of those unsung heroes, those people that we haven't even heard mentioned yet that did die on the Endurance. And yay, rats! You're giving me... Oh, no, what was that? I thought I had... I thought it was the bow. I swear to God, I thought it was the bow. I didn't realise it. That actually can get you caught and killed quite often in this game. But yeah, so current location, cavern entrance. For a fleeting moment here at this point in the game, just a fleeting moment, I felt like we were going to be in a really interesting kind of undergroundy, dungeony tomb area, very much like the original games where you could have an entire level or region dedicated to being a tomb. And it felt like that with this opening split here, like, oh look, we can either go right or left. Can you imagine each of these directions leads to some long labyrinth? And it's one of those rare moments where it felt to me like, or at least highlighted how linear really the game can feel. But of course, if you go in one of the directions, you find nothing, just a dead end and a plant. And of course, that fleeting moment is then gone, at least for me, and then I realise, oh no, it's still just as linear as it ever was. That said, we are going into another section of the game now where we are indoors a lot, and it is very dungeony, and it is very dark, both thematically and in terms of the lighting.
But here we are the Solari, the Sun Queen's children. She brought us here for a reason. I know you want your freedom. I know you want to escape this place. But to do so, we must release our queen. Like us, she is a prisoner. If we can free her, we free ourselves. This girl, she carries the blood of this land. She could be the key. The ritual of flames will show us the truth. Himiko, you are the first and the last. Speak to us now.
Take the shot. Remember that moment. Remember that moment. I'm going to talk about that a lot next episode.
You killed our brother. Now I'm going to kill you. This is for Vladimir, outsider. Enough! Dmitri, Nikolai, bring her to me. Every creature in nature will turn and fight when its very survival is at stake. So don't think I don't understand you, girl. I've just been doing this a lot longer. Ready yourself, brothers! Our queen is about to speak! Speak to us, Himiko! Speak to us through the flame!
So sorry. Just look at me. Look at me, okay?
She's the one. Soon, my brothers, we will be reborn. Take her to the throne room. Your fight is over.
Let's get down there. Come on.